Hello and welcome, it's Andy here, Andy Wright UK Travel, and a quick story regarding the budget airlines, Ryanair, EasyJet and Wizz and others. There's some good news for passengers. You're not going to have to pay for extra baggage in the cabin as for very soon. There's a story here. Let's have a look at that right now. So the story is that Ryanair, EasyJet and Wizz, they charge you to have baggage. We know that. That's why they're a budget airline. Because when you add it all up, it adds up to the same amount as a normal airline eventually. Because you can pay for sitting in the same seat that you next to your partner. You can pay for a specific seat. You can pay for food, you can pay for boarding, early boarding, whatever. You can pay for this, that and the other, including baggage. And when you add it all up, it becomes a huge amount of money. Obviously, if you're not requiring any of that, then it becomes cheap. And that's the idea of a budget airline. But now, there's a story in the news. So this is the story here in Glasgow Live. The new rule for all passengers is what you will pay when you buy your ticket and what you're allowed to take on board. So it's a new EU rule for carry-on bags. It's set to come in force. The European Commission has introduced new rules that will come in next year. This will mean that you'll be allowed a free carry-on bag with the price of your ticket. Airlines, the budget airlines such as Ryanair, EasyJet, Wizz will no longer be able to charge you separately if you want to take a small case onto the plane. The case will be in addition to a bag that fits under the seat, i.e. like a small handbag or a laptop bag. The exact date has not been announced, but it will be somewhere next year. And it's going to stop airlines making huge amounts of money by charging for a carry-on bag. Which Travel found that adding a bag to your flight can actually quadruple, yes, 4 times the amount the cost of the ticket. There will be other rule changes, including a ban on charging to correct spelling mistakes on tickets, compensation for passengers with disabilities if they miss flights because of airport staff, and new rules allowing under 12s to be seated with parents for no charge, because that's what they do. If you want your kids to be able to sit with you, you have to pay more money. So Which Travel said that the rules won't apply to UK airlines like EasyJet, but they will apply them anyway. The reality is that they will have to. These rules apply to EU airlines, such as Ryanair, but also to airlines flying from the UK to the EU, including UK carriers, such as EasyJet. It would be impractical for UK carriers to apply one set of bag rules and charges. I would not be putting that out of the realms of possibility, because you don't never know what they're like when it comes to money. They would find it difficult to apply different charges. Good news for travellers from next year. The fact is that these airlines, they rack up the costs, and that's how they make their money, including things like making a simple mistake on your spelling. I'm very careful about that. I check my ticket 3 or 4 times before I click the button, because I'm pretty certain I would make a mistake, including putting in your passport number as well, because that would be a major problem. But the number of stories that you hear on social media about where people have gone onto a budget airline flight and they've had to negotiate with staff to try and get their kids to sit with them, when one kid is like 5 years old, sitting at the back of the plane and the parents at the front. Absolutely ludicrous. I do like the idea that they're not going to if disabled people miss flights, they're going to pay compensation, which I think is a good thing, because on occasion the airport staff are so slow that it could be possible that you missed your flight. Certainly, when I went to Bristol Airport one time, I sat in a wheelchair at the bottom of the plane steps because they were waiting for the lift to come from another plane. And I could see the pilot looking down, wondering what I was doing. But I was very, very embarrassed because by the time they came with a lift, everybody was on there. And they looked at you as if you were an idiot. I think that they should, and obviously if the situation had been different, the pilot could have said, well, we can't wait, let's go, and I would have missed my flight. Let me know what you think about this story. It's a pretty good story, I think, and positive outcome. So, comments down below. Have a good day, I'll see you soon. Hey there, thanks for watching that video. And YouTube seems to think that you are going to like that one. So please do watch that. And also, if you haven't done it already, subscribe. See you next time.